Hey guys, it's Jeremy DeFreitas here. Thank you so much for all the responses that I've gotten so far for the Hogtown Smoke venue, which is opening up in just a couple of weeks. The reason why I'm making this video is just to let you know that I am a real person. I'm not just some bot behind a keyboard. And I wanted to offer a sense of transparency behind exactly what's going on, who I am, how I book, and pretty much most importantly, to kind of help each other in terms of the music industry and around the professionalism. Let me be clear, all the things I've made a bunch of notes here on, just kind of my experience as being a booker in the last week or so, about how I look at musicians and professionalism as a musician myself. Do not get me wrong, make no mistake, I am guilty of all of these things. This is not supposed to be a me versus you thing. This is supposed to be us versus the industry kind of thing. And I just wanted to kind of help everybody out in terms of booking shows, venues, with people outside of me. So forget me for now. Really, I just wanted to offer ways that we can all improve the customer service and professionalism aspect of our business, which I think sometimes gets overlooked because we were all born with the same disease of lugging heavy shit just to get 3 hours of of fame for a bit on a Friday or Saturday night. So I'm right there with you. I'm definitely in the trenches. And so don't take any of this as me being better than you. These are things that I want to work on myself. So as long as we can start there. Starting off, I had people be like, wow, you must have had like 50 messages. It was actually more like 200. And so one of the themes of this video is going to be around volume. So as I'm booking these different acts, and again, I apologize for the long video, but I promise there's some really relevant content in here that should help you based on what I've seen. So I got over 200 different messages, and they all had, lots of them had great content, amazing talent, and some stuff was really, really professional, knocked my socks off, and those are the people that I booked most quickly. If you didn't get a response, there is a reason why outside of just sheer volume, but a lot of it has to do with the professionalism of other musicians. And some of this is on me because maybe I didn't emphasize this enough, but I mentioned in the post that I was looking for samples, dates, and rates. And a lot of the times when you get this kind of volume, I noticed that my thought process changed between trying to find the gems versus trying to find an excuse to skip you. So if you gave me, or if you didn't give me one of these pieces, I would skip you just to get somebody else who did, because that makes my life way easier. So again, it's not me versus you. Think about this for any time you're booking with anybody. Give them exactly what they want and read the thread. I'll get back to reading the thread in a second. But so for instance, I have my 200 messages, and then somebody sends me a note. Sorry, I got a message. If somebody sends me a note and it doesn't have a sample, now I've got to spend time sending them a note back, be like, hey, by the way, is there any samples? And they'll be like, oh yeah, what would you like this? And I can't afford to go back 3 and 4 messages to get the thing that I asked for the first time. So just a heads up, read the thread and make sure that you give everything that the booker or promoter asks for up front. And again, it's not that these bands were bad, it's just I have to balance that professionalism. Yes, I'd like to say yes or no to everybody, but it's got to be tempered with some sort of efficiency, and I can't respond to everybody. So I do apologize, but please know that is the situation for a lot of different bookers out there. My top reasons for skipping, again, was no samples. So if they didn't give me a sample, poor samples. So if the video quality was bad, maybe it was kind of a bad night, and things, there was a bit of pitch issues. That could also be the camera. I 100% understand that, but make sure that you kind of vet it with maybe a few people before submitting it to different people. Like booking agents. If there was poor samples or no video at all, the audio samples are great, but if you're going to be performing in a live venue, it's always great to see how you interact with the audience. Do you do any cool tricks and, dog and pony show during your act that kind of keeps the crowd engaged? That always looks great, and it shows that you've been doing this for a while as well. So though audio is great, video is much better. Sometimes the links wouldn't work. We don't have time, again, to just go through everybody's links and make sure if they work or not. Or the other big thing was that if there's too many clicks to get to the link that you want us to see. So you said my website, and then the website, I got to go under the menu. And under the menu, I got to find these other different things. Some people have a very clear navigation path, which is great. And also, if you don't have a website, I strongly recommend getting one, because in addition to Facebook pages and all that stuff, at least you can stylize it and create your own brand, which I think can really stick out. So if you have great pictures, you have great videos. I saw an awesome one, and this is a really good point. is as a booker, not only do you care about how you sound, but I care about your reviews and testimonials. So I saw somebody on their website actually post an actual picture of a thank you note for a wedding that they did, and it gave them all kinds of accolades in the wedding thank you note, and they posted it on their website. So now I know that, wow, they really knocked out their customer service. They treated their customers really well, and they got an awesome review, and that looks really good. Outside of seeing your your pictures and your videos and all that stuff, if somebody else said you did a great job, then that's awesome. So I strongly recommend on websites, whatever the case, posting those testimonials. That's something I have to do. Again, I am not any better than any of you guys in this. So these are takeaways for myself as well. Let me see. Oh, a reminder to read the thread. So I was a bit more lenient on this because I know threads can get super long, especially with all the responses that we got. But please read the thread because I had lots of people asking me, what dates are you booking for? When does it start? Does it include a meal? All things that were available on the thread as well. That's something that as my takeaway, I can also remind people as I go along that these are the things that I've brought up already. So just please do that. If you can do a little bit of research ahead of time, that saves me from having to, again, delay responses to everybody because I'm responding back to those. So that was kind of another reason that I may or may not book somebody. And it's probably the same for a lot of other booking agents. I have to address it. There's a few whiny posts on the Facebook thread, which kind of leaves a bad taste in the mouth because by no means am I anybody deliberately trying to ignore you or any of that stuff. You just have to understand that with a huge volume, things change. So please make it easy for us to see your samples. And if you say, I got one regarding, hey, you're not booking any classic rock bands, but they said it in kind of a way that the tone wasn't very there. So if you said, for instance, hey, are you still open to having classic rock bands? I know classic rock may be a little bit out, but the stuff we play can keep people dancing all night. No problem. That's a great way to do it. So that helps a lot. I take my reputation pretty seriously when it comes to music. It's a small city. It's a small network. We all know each other, or we will soon, I'm sure. So please don't accuse people of not doing something or not responding because I want to stop that train before it starts. It is absolutely a volume issue. It's nothing personal, but it does show how unprofessional you are by accusing people of doing that thing because that means you don't know the process by which bands get booked and the sheer volumes that we have to deal with. So please just keep that in mind. I need to temper my professionalism with efficiency. So if I miss you, it's not that you're bad, it's just like maybe you didn't provide those things the right time. And don't get me wrong, this is the first quarter of bookings that I'll be doing with this venue, and so there's going to be plenty of opportunities. I'm going to re-solicit for other acts and stuff. So if you fell into any one of these pitfalls by no fault of your own, again, this is all learning experience. I can't emphasize this enough, for me as well. So these are all takeaways for all of us. Here's a quick tip. I think all of you guys are trying to be as professional as possible. You write a nice little blurb in the Facebook message and you had samples, dates, rates. Awesome. One little suggestion is to keep those messages to a length that would fit right inside an iPhone screen, because a lot of the times I'll be checking these stuff on the go, and if I have to kind of scroll through, it makes it a little bit more clumsy for me. So if you can try to compact your message as much as possible. Maybe, and this was an idea I thought of, saying the top 3 things that we should know about you. We are a 5-piece. We can do dance and rock, and we're available on these dates, or whatever the case, right? However you want to format that. Again, just keep it as roughly the size of an iPhone or a cell phone. Things that I would have liked to have seen, and I noticed things that caught my attention. So one was the testimonials, or those really caught my attention because I said, hey, these people really understand the customer service aspect of this. But one thing I would have liked to see more of is recognizing the promotional aspect of this. So one thing I would like to see, and this is just an off-the-cuff suggestion, something that I'm going to try with different bars or venues that I'd like to book that are looking for that promotional aspect, is a promotional plan. So how do you plan to promote the event? Are you going to say, you know what, well, we promote on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff? That is great, and there's no fault with that. But maybe something like saying, well, 2 weeks before the performance, we do a Facebook ad or a Facebook post. That reaches 1,000 of our followers. Then about a week before, we also do something on Instagram, which reminds all of their followers that we're going to have this, whatever. What I'd like to see and again, a lesson learned for me, what caught my attention is people saying, like, here's how I promote, here's how we care about the venue's, different objectives. So it's a partnership, and it becomes very clear, are you looking to book a slot, or are you looking to create a partnership with the venue? So caring about their objectives and their stakeholders, that helps you a lot as well, because we want to create that partnership. We'd love to bring you back, and the more you can do for us, the more we can do for you. So that's really where things go. So anyways, these are just a couple notes. I know it's a long video, but I thought hopefully it helps you guys get a bit of perspective. Like I said, I'm a musician. I am new to the role as a booking agent, so there's definitely a lot of things that I have to learn as well. I am 100% open to tips, open to constructive feedback, because like I said, we're all in this together. So you can forget about me. Think about using these tips for any of the venues that you're trying to book. Hopefully it helps you. And in the meantime, rock on, and I hope to see you at Hogtown Smoke. Bye for now.